Ahsoka Season 1, Episode 3. What did we just watch? Uh-oh. Hey, everybody. A very great episode that we are so pumped to talk about. But with that being said, we don't want to spoil anything just yet. Welcome to Two Geeks and a Microphone. So glad you're here.
So who talks first? You talk first. I talk first.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, so glad you're here with us here on Two Geeks and Microphone. I am your co-host, Mr. Stephen Boster, along with the one, the only, the most super duper flurious, whatever that word means, Mr. Michael Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to all you geeks out there in Geekdom Land.
Hey, I am running on very little sleep, everybody, so I may be a little giddy because we are talking about Ahsoka episode 3, and this should be fun today. Actually, I know it will be because we've got some interesting things to talk about on this episode, so I'm really excited about it. If just a heads up, everybody, if you have not seen it, we're going to be doing spoilers all the way through. And in fact, I can only imagine that we'll probably be talking about spoilers for Rebels. We'll be talking about spoilers for Clone Wars. We'll be talking about spoilers for Star Wars in general.
Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars.
Right. I'm excited today, everybody, to talk with Mike because Mike, as you guys know, is, for me personally, is the Star Wars encyclopedia. We'll call him.
I don't know about that.
We'll call him the Star Wars Mikelopedia.
I don't know if I'm quite that, knowledgeable, but yeah. I've only been watching it Star Wars since I was 7 years old. I've been in this fight since I was 7 years old. Can't do Andor's voice very well.
That's okay. That's okay. Andor, what's that? No, I'm just kidding.
That was his line. I've been in this fight since I think he said 6. Of course, it could be 6 for me. I don't know. Anyway, somewhere around there, 6, 7.
It's all good. So, Mike, how do you feel about today's show?
I'm excited. I'm ready to talk some Star Wars and some Ahsoka. Yay! Although we got a couple things to get to before we do that.
That's correct.
I do have some geeky news, so let's jump into that real quick. All right. So the only item I have on the geeky news is that DC has announced that they are going to do sequels or second series to the Batman 89 and Superman 78, which will be on sale November 28th. Superman will be entitled Superman Metal Curtain. And and then we got some pictures here. So here's the main cover for Metal Curtain. Looks pretty cool. It looks like Lex Luthor in his super suit in the background. And then,
honey, where is my super suit?
Right. Really nice variant. Get out of the way. I hate stupid pop-ups. Nice little variant cover. Kind of looks like a coloring book, though, but looks kind of cool. I really like this one. This almost has an Alex Ross feel to it.
Yeah.
Almost his style. And then we get into the Batman covers. And now, check out the background. We see, to me, what looks like might be a female Joker, maybe a Harley Quinn. That would be so cool. And it looks like Scarecrow here, possibly.
Yeah.
There's an amazing Batman right there. Gosh, that's a beautiful artwork. That, again, very Alex Ross style there. like that. Oh, and check out the beautiful Batmobile. That stupid pop-up. I hate pop-ups. And one more. So we get the Batman, and we got the Joker's blimps, or blimps and stuff from the first
Right.
movie.
Uh-huh.
And the Joker laughing at the bottom here. So I don't know exactly what's going on, but I am super excited about that. Can't wait. I got both the 78 and 89s and loved them both. I thought they were very good. So it's nice that they're continuing this. Apparently it did pretty well on the shelves. So happy to
Right
see
on.
that. Very happy to see
Morning.
that.
Hey, Sage is in the house. Hey, Sage.
All right. Morning, Sage.
Mhm.
How are
And
you?
And one of the three geeky dads is here with us. We don't know which
Nice.
one because they're already you're logged into your Facebook
Three Geeky Dads account. Yeah.
Right on. Everybody check them out. Best
All right.
memes ever. I think I laughed more this week with their memes than I have in a while. I mean, I laugh every week, but it's the most I've done. There's some good ones in there. So.
Sometimes Brian and I steal from each other too. So all's fair in war and podcasting, though. And he'll tell you the same thing. All right. So that's my geeky news. I got one item for the Geek Dar.
You have one other geeky news item that you are working on something
yes.
special.
Well, okay. Technically, we have two. We have one that is on a sad note. Unfortunately, last Saturday, after we finished the podcast, we found out the sad news that Arlene Sorkin, the talented actress who portrayed the voice of Harley Quinn, who brought Harley Quinn to life. I mean, we would have no Harley Quinn if it wasn't for Arlene Sorkin. So
yeah, and for those that don't know, the animated series where she voiced Harley Quinn, that was the introduction of Harley Quinn, correct?
Yes. And speaking of that, I will explain all of that in our new shoot-off series called Mike Has Issues. I've just wrapped it up. Actually, I just wrapped it up just before we went on the air this morning.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I put some finishing touches on it and saved out the final file. So I will go ahead and launch that Monday morning, probably.
Okay. And so when you say launch it, how will everybody be able to?
They will be able to watch it here on Facebook, YouTube, all the same places that you are watching Two Geeks and a Microphone. So
our Twitch, our X account, formerly known as Twitter.
Oh.
It's almost like the artist formerly known as Prince.
Even when I get notifications, it even it shows the X and then it says formerly Twitter. So yeah, I agree. Look, I do the same thing with the Washington Redskins. I can't call them, what are they, the Commanders now? I hate that. So I just call them, the team formerly known as the Redskins. Yep. And I probably just offended half of our audience. I'm sorry. But I can't call them Commanders. Sorry. Anyway,
it's different when all these years we've called them something else, and I mean I understand some of it, but yeah, you're correct. Artist formerly known as Prince, X formerly known as Twitter. I love it.
And I still don't get what we call a tweet. I mean, did we make an X? I don't understand it.
Right.
I know Elon Musk, he uses the X for a symbol in most of his companies and stuff. SpaceX, so on and so forth. But I don't know. I just don't understand it.
Right. So, we'll get there. Yes.
I guess it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to some Geek Dar.
Control with the radar, sir.
What's wrong with it?
I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps.
The what? The what? And the what?
You know, the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
That's not all he's lost.
All right. So I have one item on my Geek Dar this morning. I
Okay.
finally received something in the mail yesterday. I was very excited about. I've been waiting for a while now, but I got ISOM number 2 yesterday.
Woohoo!
And the
Yeah.
cover art is just beautiful. I believe this was cover art D, I think it was, which I think he said this is going to be the main cover. So like going forward, now that the campaign is over, if you purchase it, you'll get this cover. I thought it was the best looking cover, though. I really liked it.
I'll be open with you. I really like that cover.
I do too. I mean, I liked all his covers. Don't get me wrong; they were all great, but I thought this was the best. But I don't know. So there it is, and
Is
then
there
along.
just real quick because
Yeah.
you were holding that up, and I apologize those who are catching us by
Oh yeah, sure.
audio.
So
Back up
it's
just
got
a little.
a
Is there an image
yes,
next left to the moon?
yes. There is a skull in the skylight, in the skyline.
Ooh, cool. Okay, okay.
And that moon is beautiful.
Yep,
It looked like the moon a couple nights ago.
sure did. What do they call that? They call it a
they-
blue moon?
They
Is that
call
what
it
it's
a
called?
well, it was a super blue moon because we were at the point of the moon is closest to the Earth in the year. So that's why it appeared so large in the sky. And it's called a
Ooh.
blue moon because it's
The second
the
full
second
moon
full
in the
moon
month.
of the month. Yeah. Which only happens every so often, and therefore you get the saying happens in a blue moon, once in a blue moon. So that was a
Nice.
super blue moon, which was cool. And then along with it, they gave me a bookmark
Nice.
with Isom's face on it. Very nice. And then the back's got his little symbol that he's got on his belt, which is some kind of cross. I don't know the significance of it yet, but
we
anyway,
will.
yeah.
What did he say when we talked to him? They're doing a little bit here and a little bit there.
Yeah,
revealing more and more. So,
well, and he
Good
reveals a
storytelling.
new character in it, Bloodruth, I believe her name.
Mhm.
I haven't read the issue yet, so I can't really talk about it too much because I haven't read it yet. Got it
Mhm.
yesterday, and then I was working on Mike has issues, so
Right on. That's
You
all
know,
right.
but I'll get to it, and that will probably be the second episode of Mike has issues. Most likely. And until
Right
Steven
on.
gets the issues, and then we can talk about them on the main show.
But
But if you want to learn more about ISOM, please go check out Eric July's website, which is ripaverse.com. He's all over YouTube, and this is his second issue, and he has just sold, I don't know, like 1 million copies or something crazy. I don't know the numbers, but he's got videos to explain all the numbers and everything, but he's pretty much outselling everybody right now. And then of course we had our interview with him last month, or
which is great.
July, I should say. Now it's September, so it'd been the month before last. Sorry.
It is September. Yes, that's correct. Whew.
But yeah, so if you want to learn more about ISOM and Eric July, just go to ripaverse.com and check them out. And go, if you haven't watched it yet, go back and watch our interview with Eric. He's a super nice guy. He's really cool.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it very much.
Yeah.
All right.
He's a great guy. Great guy. Cool. Well, the only thing I've got on my Geekdar is usually Sunday afternoons are my days of just I crash, and so I was up for a little bit and I watched. All I want to do is watch something, and on Netflix they have an animated movie new called The Monkey King. It was actually not half bad. It wasn't half great, but kind of a thing. But it was actually just fun. The character in it, the way they do it, it's the story of the monkey, telling of a Monkey King story. A little goofy here and there, which is fine. But the main character, who you assume is the Monkey King, as you watch it, and it really is the main character. Let me say that. You get to a point where he's so egotistical in who he is that you don't root for him anymore, kind of a thing.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, gosh, they got to change his character progression or something at some point. And only to realize that he's got there's someone who's kind of helping him that brings into play some more elements of the character development, but the story could be about that individual as well a little bit. But then at the end, it really kind of sets up for a sequel where you get more of his did that character arc change kind of thing. So that's why I said it's not great, super great, but it's not half bad either, kind of a thing.
Okay. Is it worth checking out though? That's
If you are limited on time, no.
I'm surprised you watched it then.
I was tired. And
is this based on any other media? Is this like a book
there is a history of a story of who's called the Monkey King. It is it's an interesting story who has a staff, a bow staff. And that I tell you what, the staff in this one had his own character. I mean, it was kind of its own entity kind of a thing, a powerful staff, and it was really good. So there was an old Jet Li movie called Forbidden Kingdom. It was Jet Li and Jackie Chan were in it, and in there, Jet Li's character actually was the Monkey King. It is a known Oriental fable folklore character. They did it a little different in the animated, which is why I was curious about it. And I really enjoyed the Forbidden Kingdom. It was a good movie as well. So sort of kind of like a offshoot of, I don't say offshoot, that's not right. There's a kid in there who learns to do karate kind of a thing and learns how to fight, but he's taken into a fantastical world. So it's sort of like a Karate Kid / fantasy kind of style thing. And you got Jackie Chan and Jet Li in it, who are both in their heyday at the time. So so that's a good one. I should do another thing about Forbidden Kingdom at some point. But anyway, I watched Monkey. If you've got time and you just love watching movies, Netflix, sure, go ahead. But if you have only like 6 hours a week to watch stuff on TV, pick something else.
Pick something else. All right. Okay. All right. We ready to jump into our main event?
Yeah, I'm so excited. Yes.
All right.
You are listening to Mike and Stephen on Two Geeks and a Microphone. Welcome to the Geekdom.
Just had to play that there. All right.
I love it.
I
love it. It's time for the main event. Star Wars. All right, Mr. Mike.
Star Wars.
Give me your quick overview, non-spoilery discussion and your rating.
Okay. First of all, what are we using for our rating for this one?
It's everybody. I'm going to spoil it just so I can give a rating because this is as soon as I saw it, it's what it should be. Purgles, man.
Okay. All right. All right. First off, I really like this episode. I've seen mixed reviews on it. Some people think it was slow, which is funny because it's only 30 minutes long. and at the end, I was like, I want more. Give me the next episode of Ahsoka, so on and so forth. And to me, that's good. If it leaves you wanting more, that's a good thing. Had some nice callbacks to A New Hope, which I really, really liked that a lot. I love the space scenes. Space scenes were amazing in this.
Oh, yeah.
Took me back to old style George Lucas, World War II, dog fighting, loved it. And the ships were just awesome. This was like a visual just I don't know, eye candy. Just eye candy for this
Okay.
one, in my
Okay.
opinion. Especially those space scenes, they were amazing. And then
Mhm.
seeing the Purgles and getting to see a good look at the Purgles, the
Oh,
space
the
whales,
live action Purgles, man.
beautiful, beautiful,
Yes,
loved it.
yes, yes, yes.
Now, that's not to say that there's some things I didn't like, because I'm still iffy on this whole Sabine and the Force, and then we get the whole
Okay.
everybody's got the Force. So,
Yeah, we'll
and
talk about it.
we'll dive
Yeah.
into that. We'll dive
Yes,
into that.
yes, yes, yes.
So overall, I would give this 8 Purgles out of 10.
Okay.
Just because I love the intro. I love how it starts off. Love the Japanese sword fighting training. That was
Mhm.
awesome.
Yes.
Great. I love the dog fights that we got to see in space. Awesome. Ahsoka in space. Love that. So,
Yes.
that's
yes,
all I got
know
to
what
say.
you're talking about. Yeah, we'll get to that. Okay. I got 4 words. George Lucas heir apparent.
Uh-huh.
This is the most George Lucasy thing that we've gotten. I mean, this is 100% Dave Filoni as heir apparent to George Lucas. No doubt about it. The samurai aspect of it, the callbacks to George Lucas, enjoying and being influenced by what's the
Kurosawa.
Kurosawa, but also the Blind Swordsman.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
I can't remember. I can't say. I want to say Hitachi, but that's not it. um, then you also get. I do agree with you. Excuse me. Let me rephrase that. I don't agree with you, but I understand where you're coming from. I agree on the aspect of the topic of Sabine.
Yeah.
Because that is also going back to George Lucas in his explanation of the Force.
Yeah, I know.
So I get that. I have no problems with it because I think it's good for us to see someone who is Force sensitive. I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me, kind of a thing. Who is not gifted, if that makes sense, with Force ability. Now, are we saying that eventually I think she should become a Jedi? We'll get into all that. We'll have that discussion. I'm more than happy to have that. I think we should.
I think we need to. I need issues. I have issues. I need help getting through this.
Right. No, I'll help you because I worked through it already. So I've taken
wow.
that journey. I took that journey because at first I was like, oh, really? Do we have to have this? And then I'm like, oh, wait. And the more I thought about it, so I'll have that discussion with you. So then I give it a solid 8 out of 10. Solid 8 out of 10.
We agree on that.
It was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the space scenes. I enjoyed, again, there is a small tidbit back to Revenge of the Sith that we get with and just a visual thing. So again, we're reflecting back to George Lucas, and plus, I want to talk about Marok some more. Marok.
You gotta give it the Klingon flair at the end of it. Marok.
Yeah, I heard an interesting theory that I want to get your take on, and about who Marok.
Yeah, from what I'm gathering, there are several theories out there.
Yeah,
of
there
who
are.
Marok could be.
I don't feel like I have to pick one, but I'm enjoying some of them. Some I'm enjoying more than others. Other ones I'm like,
Sure.
yeah, I don't like that theory kind of thing. But that'd be good. So anyway, that is my dealio. So everybody, what would you give it? Please comment below and let us know what your score would be if you have seen episode 3 of season 1 of Ahsoka. I'm curious. And where some people say it's slow, I think that's only because we didn't really get some kind of super battle scene as far as hand-to-hand combat kind of a thing.
No, but we got a fantastic space battle scene.
We did.
I
liked it.
I mean, what more do you want in Star Wars?
You're right.
Granted, we didn't get an epic lightsaber battle, but
Right.
I'm okay if you give me a really good space battle scene that harkens back to old style George Lucas, and like I said, with the uh it looked like the Spitfire World War II, you know, just gunship goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, it was good. Some people are saying that it's filler. I disagree with that.
I disagree totally.
It has the best storytelling of reflection back to other things from other story elements from the past. So if you're not up on Rebels, if you're not up on Clone Wars, if you're not up on, some of the lore, then yeah, I could see where like, well, what's this going on, kind of thing. But we got a lot of good stuff. Hi, Sam. Welcome to the show. Sam says
Good
he has
morning.
not seen. Sam, we're going to give you a heads up. We're going to hit some
Major spoilers here.
major spoilers coming up. So please go watch it and come back. I don't want to spoil anything for you.
Unless you're okay with the spoilers, then you're welcome to stay with us for the ride. So yeah, I love the way this opens up when we get Sabine training with Hu Yang, and
Right.
Hu Yang's got almost General Grievous look to him, because he's got the
right. He's
extra
got 4 arms.
and he's got 4 lightsabers, and it just gave me the feel of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, General Grievous, which I like General Grievous.
Well, hello there.
General Kenobi.
That's all we needed was the hello there. If Sabine said hello there.
Hello there. Yeah, that would have been awesome. If we could have got a hello there, that would have been fantastic. But yeah, in their training, and Hu Yang is using the Japanese words as Sabine strikes the training lightsabers, which was really cool. That's something we haven't seen before.
Aren't those the stances that are in the? Isn't there like there's a novel, there's a book, a Jedi. There was 2 books that came out, but it's all the stances of in the form. It's forms. It's some of the forms, Jedi forms.
I think it is.
Lightsaber forms.
Yes, I think so. But it's all based in Japanese sword fighting.
Yes.
Which again takes us back to George Lucas, because if you go back and you look at all the makings of the original trilogy, Mark Hamill talks about when he's handling the lightsaber and George Lucas is directing him, and he wants to take a hand off of the saber, and George is like, no. Granted, this changed when we went into the prequel series, but George is like, no, you have to hold with both hands, because this is more like a Japanese broadsword. These would be pretty heavy, which is so funny, because that he completely threw that out of the water when he went to the prequel.
Right.
But I felt this was very Japanese style sword training, and it just looked great. It looked beautiful on screen. Loved it.
Yes. How do you pronounce his name again?
Huang.
Thank you.
I think I'm saying
right.
I think I'm saying that right.
I'm sure we'll get corrected. So it was so interesting how it's like every episode he likes telling Sabine in one form or fashion, and while maybe blunt, but realistically saying you suck.
I love it. I love his character. His character's fan. It does help that he's David Tennant, who was the 10th Doctor in Doctor Who.
Right.
And I love David Tennant. He's a fantastic actor. He was the Purple Man in Marvel Jessica Jones, and oh my gosh. I remember when that show came out, my wife and I were both like, I don't know if I want to watch this, because I don't want David Tennant to be the bad guy. I'm used to him being the Doctor. Oh, he was so good in that show. I mean, if you want to see some of David Tennant's acting abilities, go watch Jessica Jones. He is fantastic.
He was so good at being evil.
Oh yeah. I don't think I can compliment him anymore. He's just so good in that series.
Yep.
David Tennant's always good. He's a good actor. And in this, he comes off a little dry, but that's because he's playing, kind of a stiff droid, you
Mhm.
know.
Right.
But I love the character. The character's fantastic. I love his callbacks to old, almost old Republic Star Wars, Well,
Mhm.
the Jedi, the Jedi quorum, the Jedi whatever, all that says that we should do this. And Ahsoka's like, yeah, throw that crap out.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I let's this is the point, probably this whole beginning point is where we probably should talk about Sabine a little bit, about this whole thing about her being force sensitive or trying to use force. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know.
let's just jump right into it.
Yeah, let's just let's rip this Band-Aid off real quick. So I would say, here's the thing. Ahsoka in the show does say that some of her ability is really based upon her Mandalorian training. And I'm like, yeah, yeah. The aspect of her being force sensitive, I don't know. While I understand and agree with the reflections back to George Lucas about him saying that, the force is in all living things, everyone has the force. There's just some who have more talent than others. I've seen a couple of things on, watch some things on YouTube here and there, just giving that aspect that, there's one that even said Obi-Wan Kenobi was never as gifted as Anakin was.
Yeah, I watched the same one, and I mean, I agree with that to a certain extent, because to me, Obi-Wan became one of the greatest Jedis in my opinion.
I-
And let's
Ye-
face it, he defeated Anakin. I mean, he did cut off one of his arms and both of his legs. Anakin, don't try it. I have the high ground.
Yeah. High ground. High ground. So, I would say, good night, Sam. Thanks for
Oh,
joining
good
us.
night, Sam. I wonder where
I
Sam's at.
just across the pond.
Apparently.
Yeah. I will, the whole aspect of, I think only what they're referring to. I do agree with you in the aspect that Obi-Wan is a powerful Jedi. I do believe in the context that there are some who are gifted, who have a more sensitive nature to the Force. Um, with I I don't think they're going to make it where Sabine is a Jedi. Australia.
Sam's from
Thank you,
Australia.
Sam.
All right. Good day, mate.
So I would say the with Sabine, hopefully it's a story arc of someone can be sensitive again, like the blind man in Rogue One,
Chirrut.
Chirrut, played by Donnie Yen, who I
But
really enjoy.
well, okay, let's pause on Chirrut for just a second. I never really felt that he had the Force. You know, I felt that he had a deep belief in the Force, and that kind of led him to be able to appear to be Force sensitive, but he
Mhm.
really wasn't Force sensitive. I think he's just super talented. Well, he is a super talented martial
Well,
artist.
and I think that's where Sabine is at. And if she
Yeah, but
moves the cup, okay, she moves the cup. But as far as she'll never be, I'm
oh,
hoping they will not make it where they make her where she's Jedi. I don't
I
think so.
don't want to see. I totally agree with Star Wars Theory, where he said, "I'm okay if at the end of this she slightly moves the cup,
Mhm.
but if by the end of the series or the end of the season, if we have her, like Rey, and she's pulling down starfighters and stuff like that, yeah, I might check out, because no, I can't handle that.
Right.
There's no way. So let's face it, Sabine is not a part of the Vizsla lineage. Tar Vizsla was the only Jedi Mandalorian that we know of. You
Mhm.
know, and that is in Star Wars lore. Tar Vizsla is the only Jedi Mandalorian. When we might possibly have a second Jedi Mandalorian in the fact that we got Grogu, and he is obviously a Jedi, but he is obviously being trained by Din Djarin in the Mandalorian ways.
Yeah.
But she is not a part of House Vizsla. And I don't know.
I think we should. I am more than happy to state it like she is Mandalorian and she's skilled and talented at being a Mandalorian.
Yeah, I'm fine with
And
that. I mean,
it's
she should be.
okay. It's okay not being a Jedi, and I think that's where some
Exactly.
of the training. If they take that arc, I would like that more. It would be much more better
Or better.
kind of a
Cheers.
thing. Cheers.
Okay, well, here's where I am with the whole everybody has the Force. Everybody has midichlorians. Everybody has the Force. Here's where I am with that. Okay. I'm okay, if okay, the Force is within all of us. The Force surrounds us, it binds us, it brings us together. I understand
Right.
all that. And
Yes.
I get that there is a religious aspect to that. I understand that. It's almost like saying God is in all of us, okay? But that
Mhm.
doesn't make all of us God, all right? And here's where I am with the Force being in everybody. So let's look at Superman. If everybody's Superman, then there is no Superman. There's nothing that makes Superman special. If everybody is Anakin, there is nothing special about being a Jedi. And to me, with me growing up with Star Wars, it was like, oh wow, it must be really special to be a Jedi because only few have these Jedi abilities,
Mhm.
and to me that gave it, a special feeling. And so, but with this whole idea of, well, everybody's got the Force. No, I just don't like that.
Right.
I get the idea of everybody can possibly tap in a little bit here or there. I'm okay with that. So yeah,
Mhm.
if she slightly moves that cup, all right, okay, I can accept that. But if we've got her to where she's force choking people and throwing things with the Force and catching her lightsaber, throwing her lightsaber and bringing it back to her through the Force, yeah, no. As far as I'm concerned, then you could just kill Sabine off.
Okay. Right on.
I would rather just stay with the Mandalorian.
I think we're better off with the Mandalorian aspect. That's how I saw her in Rebels.
Yeah,
It was all
I
she's
never thought of her as
Mandalorian.
a
She could
Jedi.
wield the dark saber. She was trained to wield the dark saber.
Well, and she wasn't great with it either.
No, she wasn't.
She was not great, which is why Kanan was trying to train her. And that's another thing. So we got in Rebels Kanan, who really was not a full Jedi, and he was training Ezra. He took on Ezra as his Padawan. So technically, Ezra's not a full Jedi. You got I love Ahsoka, but let's face it, Ahsoka's not a full Jedi either. She walked out. She left. Not saying she didn't have good reasons to. Not saying that at all. That's a whole different
I'm going to come back.
topic.
We're going to come back to that though. Just saying.
But
Go ahead.
but she walked out. She didn't finish. And now she's training Sabine. It's like, oh, so we got all these, I don't know, partial Jedis training Padawans. What does that tell you about the future of Jedi? I I don't know. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing that out. Just throwing it
Interesting.
out.
I have thoughts, but I don't have words. So we'll come back to that probably in a later episode, kind of a
All right.
thing.
That's
Give
fine.
me some time to process some of that because I disagree with you.
Oh, okay.
I do think that although they may not have gotten their certificate, it's kind of like when you get your doctoral dissertation, when you get your PhD, there's something called ABD, all but dissertation. And so they just because they didn't go through the trials or does not necessarily mean that they're not talented enough to be Jedi, whether or not she's a Jedi Knight at that level. doesn't have the certificate or someone to say, yeah, you can be on the council.
Oh well,
Or but Jedi Master you do not get. You know, kind of
don't
a
get me
thing.
wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Ahsoka's not talented and she couldn't be a full-fledged Jedi. I'm just saying she walked away from it. You know, that's
Mhm.
all I'm saying. However, I do think she is much more of a Jedi than what Kanan was, because Kanan, his abilities were, you
Mhm.
know, not the best. He was not the
It
best Jedi.
it was not until he lost his sight that he really started coming out on his own, or
I don't
really
think he
started
came
developing.
I don't think he really developed until the very end, just before he died. So,
Yeah.
I don't think he was powerful enough to be taking on a Padawan. That's what I'm getting at. I
I
think Ahsoka's in a better position than that. Of course,
I
then
th
again, I don't think Ahsoka has a real Jedi on her hands either.
I think in this instance, where I think for Jedis, they're passing on what they've learned. So
Sure.
here, Kanan recognizes that there's something about Ezra that we're going to see this. I think I'm curious to see where they take Ezra, because Ezra was talented. There was a
Yes.
certain talent
Agreed.
that Ezra had, but you got to think through all of Rebels. Here's someone who has no training, then all of a sudden in 4 years' time is talking with Purgles, can understand Purgles, and gets the Purgles to help take care of Thrawn and his whatever. I can't remember what the ship's name was.
The Chimera.
Yeah, the Chimera. Thank you. And you know,
I am a Thrawn fan, by the way.
right. Yes. So, so I'm just saying that there's something special about him. So it really is the issue of he may not have been a Jedi Knight, but he was still passing on what he learned. And so
Oh yeah, I agree.
rather than being a Padawan type situation, it was, here's what I've learned along the way, and here's what I am learning. Because you saw him learn with Kanan. You saw him oh my goodness, I'm getting defensive. Why am I getting so defensive about this?
Oh, you're fine. You go ahead.
That's
It's
funny.
all good.
I just
You're
recognize that.
arguing your side, your point. That's good.
Yeah,
No problem.
right. I'm like, how dare you?
I'm not offended by it. Go for it.
No, I think I'm just saying that you know, even when they met the what was he called in Rebels? I love the character. The Bindu.
Oh, the
Bindu.
Bendu, which is another Doctor Who. That's Tom Baker, the genuine article, you might say.
Right.
The fourth Doctor.
The aspect of the Bindu though was he learned from the Bindu as well. So he was learning. So I don't want to say he was a Padawan of the Bindu, but the Bindu brought him training. So I view it all as no longer, and this may be where we're headed, it's no longer the aspect of master, knight, and apprentice, but it is passing on what you have learned along the way.
Sure.
And so that's what I see them as. And they're all talented at different levels. I think you've got some knights that are, or those who may be at a knight level, or their sensitivity to the force passing on to people who are master levels, and master levels teaching Padawan levels, for lack of a better term, because that's what I see with Ahsoka. Ahsoka, I don't care. She's master level. I don't care where you put her. You know, I know it's former.
Oh, I'm not saying Ahsoka's not talented. I think Ahsoka is she's high up as far as I'm concerned on the Jedi scale, in my opinion. You know, she doesn't reach Anakin level, but she's pretty darn high up, in my opinion. I was just saying in the sense that we have Jedis who technically aren't complete Jedis who seem to be training. That's all I was referring to.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah.
And again, her skill level is way higher than Kanan's. I don't know. Kanan is very low, and I agree. I think his level is higher than Kanan's. I think his level was actually higher than Kanan's when he met Kanan, and I think Kanan did bring some of that out. You know what I mean? So,
yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
It is what it is.
What we're starting to run close on time. Let me ask you this: what are some other big aspects of this episode that you really enjoyed?
So I really enjoyed when they go into the dogfight and Sabine goes and gets into the gunner's
Cockpit.
seat,
Yeah.
gunner's cockpit or whatever, and you got I got one,
Yeah.
and I wanted Ahsoka to turn around and go, "Don't get cocky, kid,"
Right. Yeah.
because it
You
was such
sort
a
of got it, but
callback.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
as George would say, it's like poetry. It rhymes.
Right. Yeah. In that
I-
sequence, when you see Shin Hati, the headset she was wearing is the same headset that
yes,
at the beginning of Revenge of the
Revenge of the
Sith
Sith. Yep.
that
I
that
actually
Kenobi and
have
them were wearing.
I have an Anakin action figure, and I've only seen this when I bought it, and I don't even remember when I bought this, but and it's from the Clone Wars, but the action figure looks like a live action version of Anakin, not the Clone Wars animated style of Anakin, and
Oh.
he is wearing one of those
The
headbands with the
communication
microphone.
headset.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty cool action figure. I've
Yeah.
never seen it, and I'm glad I bought it when I did.
Yeah. I was like, my first thought was, oh, that's kind of dated technology. Why do they have that there? Kind of a thing. But I think that speaks to probably more revelations we'll get about
I agree.
Balen.
I think we're going to find that they're either not from this timeline or they're not from this galaxy, because we are talking about going to a different galaxy.
No, I he makes a reference of knowing Anakin. So
Well,
I
that's
would
true. That's
I
true.
would say he is from this galaxy and stuff. So, but I do think you're right in the aspect they probably did go to another galaxy and came back, kind of a thing. Well, I'm curious to see how they come up. But my thing is, I there's a theory out there that I want to get your opinion on.
Oh,
About
yeah, yeah.
who is Marok, kind of a thing.
Yeah, I'm dying to hear the specific one you're talking about, because I've heard at least 1, 2, 3, 4 different characters that Marok could possibly be.
This is probably one of those. So it's Barris
I'm sure it's
Offee.
one.
Barris
Oh.
Offee.
Oh, wait, yeah, the one who betrayed
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. Yeah, actually, I had this talk with a coworker yesterday.
Okay. Now, for those who may not know who Barris Offee is, real quick, Barris Offee was a Padawan learner about the same time as Ahsoka. They were friends. Barris, she was
Set up
starting.
Ahsoka.
She did. She was starting to study different things, and her viewpoint or how she viewed the Jedi started to change a little bit. And then there was an explosion. This is all in Clone Wars, everybody. It's a great storyline for Ahsoka, because they were friends, but only to find out that Barris Offee is the one who set her up, who framed her for the explosion. The Jedi kicked her out. And then
no. She walked out. She turned her back.
Yeah, but that was because of what they didn't trust her, they didn't believe her. That's how she felt. It's a great story.
Oh yeah, it is. And spoiler alert, they do sort of, in a way, relenting. They kind of backhandedly apologize to her.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when she turns her back on him and says, "Nope, I'm done with the Jedi Order."
Yeah.
Which she has spent the majority of her life in the Jedi Order. She's, she was loyal to the Jedi. She was one of the most loyal to the Jedi. And so that whole Barris actually led up to her walking out.
I also think that attitude about the Jedi, we get glimpses of that when Ahsoka is talking to I can't say that. Yeah, thank you. A little bit. So
it's nice that I can pronounce a name or a word and you can't.
Right.
Usually it's my problem.
Right. So everybody, just to continue real quick, Barris, what we figure out in Rebels is she goes to jail, kind of a thing. I have heard different stories that originally Dave Filoni wanted to have. He was going to have her kill herself or something like that, or crazy, but I think that was too dark.
She
But
did die.
huh?
She's dead. We seen her corpse. We seen it in the end of Clone Wars. That's why I said
we?
Yes. Yes.
Do we? Are you sure?
We see almost a mummified. Her face is all sunken in. We see her casket and everything. She is dead. She
Really?
is dead. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's why I say it's one. I don't think it's female. I think it's male. So that throws it out. And then two.
Well, wait, hold that thought. Let's stay there for a second.
I know what you're going to say. Darth Maul came back.
No. They did the same with like that. Not in Star Wars, but Disney in general. When they did like, it's not just because there may be a male actor in there, it may be female. If you remember Black Widow, the Taskmaster was a male, but then only to reveal at the end that it was
nobody liked the Taskmaster, by the way. No one.
Just point being, that's not my point. My point being is that they, you could have that happen and stuff. I'm not saying I'm just defending some aspects of it. I don't know, and plus I'm happy with whatever they do.
I get what you're saying in the technical actor aspect of this, but I believe the character is male. I don't believe the character is female. That is my belief. That's what I think we've been
I'm okay with that.
So I think that alone throws the theory out. Two, I believe that Barriss is dead. We saw her body.
I don't remember seeing that at the end.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go back. I don't remember seeing it.
It was in one of those last episodes. We actually see her in the casket. She is dead.
Okay.
We see there's like a little window in the casket, and you see her face, and it's all gray and sunken in. And yeah, she's dead. She is dead.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe they're going to bring her back. I think it would be silly to bring her back. I don't see any reason for it. But I don't believe Filoni's going there. I don't believe that at all. Okay, who else have you heard?
Oh, we've talked about Ezra, but I can't go for that one.
I can't either.
I can't either. That would probably aggravate a whole bunch of fans.
Not to mention, I think this guy is a lot taller than Ezra, which would drive me insane.
Right.
I could see Kanan before I could see Ezra, and it's not Kanan either. That theory's also been thrown out there that it's actually Kanan, because he if you look at the mask and everything, it almost looks like the Temple Guard masks, which Kanan wore.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think it's Kanan either. So I'm striking down Barriss, I'm striking down Kanan, and I'm striking down Ezra. What do you got next?
There's Star Killer.
That's the one I'm hoping for. That's the one I hope it is. And my theory behind that is, okay, Rebel Force Radio has been known to go and decode voices. Jimmy Mack is a professional sound engineer, and he, as he says, takes voices into the voice lab, and he will go and deconstruct what they have done, because they've modulated it and done all kinds of stuff to it. Now he says that he did this one, but he didn't get anything out of it that he felt was worthy to play on the air. And he says he doesn't believe it's actually Sam Witwer's voice. I'm not convinced of that. Sam Witwer's name has been on the last 2 episodes, and that character has been in both of those episodes. That character comes off as being an inquisitor, and we haven't officially been told he's an inquisitor, but he's got the inquisitor saber. He looks a lot like an inquisitor.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam Witwer has said in interviews that he and Filoni have talked, and Filoni said that there's a possibility that Starkiller could be incorporated into the new series as an inquisitor. So
Mm-hmm.
I am hopeful.
That's my hope. Out of the theories, that's my hope.
That's my hope too. Is that who it is? I don't know. We'll find out maybe
You
in a
know,
few episodes.
and for me, I'm just looking forward to the storytelling of it all
Oh, sure.
because
I'm
I'm
enjoying
intrigued
it.
yeah, exactly.
They'll reveal it when it's time. It'll come, you know. And in the meantime, yeah, give me little tastes of who he could possibly be. Tease me, that's fine. I got no problem because we got so much coming up. You know, we got possibilities of flashbacks with Anakin, which oh my gosh, give me an Anakin live action Anakin and Ahsoka scene. That's what I want. And
I
I
think
want Anakin in his general you know, war
General
Clone Wars
Skywalker.
gear.
Mhm,
I want him in
mhm.
that gear. I don't want to see him in the Jedi robes. Give me
Yes,
the Clone War armor. That's what I want. I
yeah.
wanted Obi-Wan in the Clone War armor, and I didn't get that either. Um,
Mhm.
so another thing for Mike's wish list. Mike's Ahsoka wish list. Um, so
Right.
yeah, so we know Anakin's coming back at some point, whether it be a flashback or or a Force ghost. He is supposed to make an appearance somewhere in the show. So, and rumor has it we might get that this next episode. So I'm looking forward to that. So we got
Mm.
that. We know Thrawn's coming. I'm looking forward to that. We
How
know
which
Ezra's coming.
episode do you think will get Thrawn?
I'll bet you it's going to be not the last, but the one before the last.
It's number
That's what I
7.
think is going to
Okay.
happen. So,
Okay.
so we
Alright.
got what 7 episodes?
There's 8 total, I think.
Is it 8? Okay, so yeah, I
Yeah.
guess I'm going to say by episode 7 that either that or we'll get like a taste of him at the end of 6, and then 7 and 8 will probably be kind of together. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then that'll be the big thing with Thrawn, and he ain't going out either. It's not going to be. I got a feeling at the end of this is going to be almost like The Empire Strikes Back. This is my theory.
Go
See,
ahead.
that's a good thing. That's a good thing though, because you don't want Thrawn to be defeated. If then there's no
Well,
point in
no.
bringing Thrawn in.
No, I don't even view it as that. I go ahead, though. Go ahead. It's all right.
But I believe we're going to get it's going to come off like the Empire's winning in this. And then we're going to, and then it'll lead into season 2 of Ahsoka. Or who knows? Maybe it leads into Heir to the Empire movie, because we already got the news that Filoni's getting a film and it's going to be Heir to the Empire. So who
It's gonna be
knows?
Heir to the Empire.
Well, that's what they've said. They said it's going to be based on this whole thing that he's doing. Ahsoka, I think the next series of Mandalorian, um, and then the film, they all tie together. They all tie together, and they're all supposed to be based around ideas that come from Heir to the Empire, which is, of course, how Thrawn was originally introduced. So I think we got plenty of
Mm.
exciting things coming up. Yeah, we
Mhm.
don't have to reveal who Marak is just yet.
Agreed. Agreed. As far as the Empire Strikes Back thing, I agree with you on the aspect of we're going to see him return. I think that's the whole point of this whole thing is his return. And then it leads into more stuff with him because I agree with you that he is too incredible and important of a character to just have him come back and be gone. That
Yeah, you can't
he is
have him
just
as the villain of the week. That's
no, he's not. He
he has
is your villain of the series.
he is your
And
Darth Vader of this.
yes,
That's who he
agreed.
is.
He is
Although,
that caliber.
right, yeah, he's that caliber. He's not Darth Vader because he's a totally different villain.
He's not Marok. He's
Right.
not Balen Skol. He's
Right.
not you know what I'm I agree with you. Yeah. Good call.
He is a mastermind. That's who Thrawn is. But you cannot have him as I would have gotten away with it if it wouldn't have been for you meddling rebels. We can't have that. That would just turn him into a cartoon. And I think most Thrawn fans, most Timothy Zahn fans would be highly upset with that. I know I would.
Yeah.
I want him to be the mastermind that I read in the books. That's what I
Mhm.
want him to be. And he
Yeah.
wasn't quite that in the Rebels cartoon series. He was a
You
little
well, you got him where he was smart, understood culture. He was a great s to I almost said statistician, but he's a very
tactical.
great tactical chess player kind of a thing. We
Yeah,
got
but
that
in Rebels, it was, and I knew all along. And then you never really got an explanation of
of
how
how
he
we knew.
knew all
Right,
this stuff, you know?
right.
I mean, in the
Yeah,
books, they explain it.
yeah.
You
I
know, it
think we'll
makes
get
sense.
that. I'm really hoping that we'll get that through this whole thing, that they'll really bring to light, really,
Yeah, I wanna
the
see him fleshed
the
out more.
intellect. Yes, yeah. Yes,
Let's put it
agreed.
that way. He wasn't fleshed out well in the Rebels, animated series, and I
Mhm.
wanna see him fleshed out better in the live action. That's
Well,
all I ask for.
you know how it is. They're trying to they milk and expand stuff as long as they possibly can. So if they're gonna milk and expand it, they'll give him his development.
Well, yeah, sure. Okay, I don't feel that so far. I don't feel that this series is being milked. I mean,
No, I just talk about stuff in general with
okay,
let's turn
all
a
right,
movie 4 episodes, a 2-hour movie into 16 hour
right,
long episodes,
right.
kinda
And if they were doing that, this would have been a longer episode. Which
if they agreed.
again, people complain about the runtime
I have no
of it.
problems with the runtime. I agree with you.
I'm
I have no
fine with
problems
it.
with the
I mean,
runtime.
again, it left me wanting more, and that's
Absolutely. I wanted more.
and if I didn't want more, okay, then there would have been a problem with
Yeah,
the runtime. But
yeah,
honestly, I didn't look at the time at all. I was just like, "Oh, this is great. This is great. I
yeah,
love this. I love it."
yeah.
You know?
Yep.
So, yeah, the 30 minutes, whatever. If this was on standard television, it probably would have been 10 minutes longer
Yeah.
because then you would have at least 4 commercials or at least 4
Forced
commercial breaks
right. I didn't
with
know what you meant. Yep.
yeah, within an hour block is
Yep.
what you would get. So it would cut it down anyway. So that's why I don't understand. Why are you guys complaining about the runtime? Just enjoy the story. That's what I'm doing.
I think they're just complaining about the runtime because it's the same thing. Like you said, we're wanting more.
Well, some of them do. Some of them just want to bitch.
Oh, there's some who are saying it's a terrible show, that Disney is falling because Ahsoka sucks. I'm like, yeah, you're just doing that for clicks,
You know
kind of
what?
a thing.
Okay, I'll admit some things Disney's done I don't agree with. I don't like, and yeah, and they put out some crap,
Right.
and I don't, and I think the sequel trilogy was pretty much crap, especially as a whole. But I think they've done a fantastic job on the Mandalorian. I enjoyed Book of Boba Fett. Was it the Boba Fett I wanted? No, probably not. But I still enjoyed the series. I didn't think it sucked. Obi-Wan, I had some issues with Reva. I felt she stole the scene a little bit too much. There was a little too much focus on her character, and the focus should have only been Darth Vader and Obi-Wan. That should have been the only focus in that series. That's probably where the problem was with that one. But again, I still enjoyed the series. Uh, Andor, I thought was slow, but it's still a decent Star Wars series. I still enjoy it again. So I don't think they've really done anything heavily wrong in these TV series. The movies, I would, yeah, there's a lot I could argue that they did wrong in, but in the TV series, I think they just messed up little things here and there. But as a whole, I think they've done a fairly well job. And it could be argued that Ahsoka is not the Ahsoka that we all know and love from the Clone Wars. But if you watch those last couple episodes, she was a lot more like the Ahsoka we're seeing here. So I would argue I I think we are seeing Ahsoka. Now, do I want to see hopeful Ahsoka again? Yes, I definitely do. But I'm not having a problem with the fact that she's, not our happy-go-lucky Ashley Eckstein. I'm okay with that right now. I don't want her to stay that way.
Mhm.
It's a season. You know what I'm saying? It's a
Mhm.
season. So
Yeah.
we'll get through this. And when I say season, I don't mean TV season. I mean season in her
Her
emotional.
life.
Yeah, a season in her life. We're seeing a season in her life, and I'm hoping that we get to a point where she's a little bit more like the hopeful Ahsoka that we all knew and love. But once we got to the betrayal in Clone Wars, yeah, she became bitter Ahsoka. I mean, her interaction with Anakin when she comes back, Anakin is so happy to see her, and she's just like, "Yeah, let's get this on. Let's get going."
Let's get this done and over with.
Yep. So tell me that's not the same Ahsoka we're seeing here.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. So far enjoying the series a lot. Again, want to see hopeful Ahsoka. Hopefully we get Star Killer. Can't wait for Thrawn. Anticipating a Anakin flashback, hopefully in the General Skywalker Clone Wars armor. Please give me that. I want it so bad. Other than that, I just say watch this thing, enjoy it for what it is. A lot of good callbacks to George Lucas, which I love. That's the way Star Wars always should be. We should always be calling back to George Lucas because he is the maker. He is the one. So
right on.
that's it. That's all I got.
Okay. Very
That's
cool.
all I got to say about that.
I will say that we are getting as I stated at the beginning, George Lucas heir apparent. We're getting the continuation of the style and the vision of what George Lucas had created. I feel that. I see that. I think Dave Filoni is showing his prowess in storytelling with Star Wars.
Agreed.
I know.
Agreed.
Definitely wanting more. Definitely wanting more. Definitely.
Gotta get my underwear.
Gotta
go to Kmart. Wapner's on at 4.
Right.
All right.
Cool beans.
So anything else, Steven? Sponsor?
Oh yeah, I don't have a sponsor thing ready yet. Wah, wah. Hey everybody, be sure to check out Audible. I love me some Audible. I love those audiobooks, and by golly, the Star Wars audiobooks are actually quite good as well. You've got our friend Mark Thompson, who does many of the books, does the different voices quite well, but there's also like music and all kinds of things that you can get. If you've never heard one, I want to encourage you you can get one for free 90 free at audibletrial.com/2geeks.
You could even get Heir to the Empire too.
You could. There's a nice anniversary edition I'm getting ready to start listening to, actually. And so I want to encourage you that if you don't have time to read, but you've got time where I'm in the car and I can listen to a story. There are some great narrators. Mark Thompson is one of them. He's been on the show. He's a hoot. He's really funny, lively guy. And on Audible, you can get, Star Wars may not be a thing, but maybe mysteries or maybe fiction books, fantasy, sci-fi, self-help. Those who like romance, they've got romance. They've got thousands upon thousands of different titles that you can choose from. And you can get your first one for free by going to audibletrial.com/2geeks, TWOGEEKS. Check them out. If you decide to continue on with the membership, it's about $15 a month. Excuse me. Thank you. It's about $15 a month. And with that, if you continue, you get 1 credit a month. That 1 credit is good for any one audiobook. There are some that are 4 hours long that you can use it for. There are some audiobooks that are 30 some odd hours long that you can use that 1 credit for.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So it's really a good deal. And if you join as an Audible member, you also get access to the Audible Plus catalog, which are hundreds and hundreds of audiobooks that are part of your membership. You don't need a credit. So, which is really cool. So anyway, check them out, audibletrial.com/2geeks. We do get, it is an affiliate sponsor. So if you end up becoming a member, we do get a little bit given to us to help us with the show. So speaking of which, if you want to learn more about Two Geeks and a Microphone, please check out our website, www.twogeeksmic.com. Number two, GEEKSMIC.com, COM. Check us out there. That's the hub for all things Two Geeks. So it'll take you to our merch page, which is really cool. Mike has got us onto a new platform for merch, which is I'm really kind of excited about all the different things you can do. He's holding up the new Two Geeks sweatshirt. Is that the hoodie one?
Yeah, this is
the hoodie.
This is the lightweight hoodie. So
Mhm.
it's more like a t-shirt, feel to it.
Mhm.
But it's really nice.
It
Megan
looks
bought this
good.
one.
The print looks good.
Yeah, I was really happy with it. It turned out really nice.
Nice. If you want to help us to support us on the show, please go to kofi.com/2geeks. You can get there from our website, ko-fi.com/2 GEEKS. And you can buy us a coffee. We have 3 tiers, $1. You can support us at $1 a month, $2 a month, or $3 a month. And we really appreciate it. And all that money goes to pay for Mike's Slave One real life starship. Just saying.
No, it goes to pay for the podcast because podcasting, unfortunately, is not free. But if we get enough, maybe I could buy a Slave One. That would be awesome.
That would be fun. All right, man.
All right.
It's all you.
If you've made it this far, please make sure and give us a like and subscribe. Give the bell a little tickle so you get notifications every time we go live. Like us on Facebook and follow us over there. I try to be extremely active on Facebook. I'll respond back usually pretty quick if you make a response in Facebook. And I try to share a lot of funny memes. Some of them I steal from Three Geeky Dads. Or a few other places. Like I said, all's fair in podcasting and war. So,
Right.
All right. With that said, anything else, Steven?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Until next time, over and out. I'm trying to find our outro. Over and out, and may the force be with you. Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,
May the force be with you.